Alright, sorry about that, guys. My game kept crashing a couple of times there, which was really annoying. But fortunately, it is fixed now. And we're going into a live game. It's a little bit choppy to start with as the game fast forwards. I'll turn the chat off because that's a lot of Portuguese. I can't. Do Argentinians speak Portuguese or do they speak Spanish? I'm pretty sure it's Portuguese, isn't it? Excuse my ignorance. But anyway, guys, welcome to a 1 versus 1 live game here between Wolfpack Hera and Mr. Yo. And I didn't catch the last game that they played, but Hera just took a victory from Mr. Yo. And in the 1v1 ladder right now, Hera has just crept ahead of Yo, nearly 2k4, which is going to be some insane achievement for him. I think that would be the first time that Hera has it's Spanish. Okay, my bad. Sorry. Thank you for correcting me, though. I mean, as I said, I didn't know. I appreciate you guys telling me. So I won't make that mistake in the future. But anyway, what I was saying is Hera, I don't think he's reached the 2k4 milestone before. So this is going to be a big game for him because if he wins this, he will hit 2k4 on the 1v1 ladder. And of course, you know, ladder points is not everything in the world. Being on the top of the 1v1 ladder doesn't necessarily mean you are the best player, since, you know, there's a lot of different maps, a lot of different settings, and different tournaments might give different outputs of who the best players really are. But this setup is good for Hera here, because he's playing Huns, and the map is Arabia. And he is up to the northwest of the map. I'm still getting used to this UI situation. I don't know. I'll sort this out at the between streams. Down to the south of the map in the blue, we have Mr. Yo, and he is playing as the good old Huns as well in the blue, as I say, at the south of the map. So, I mean, I was not surprised at all that this is an Arabia Hun war. Also, correct me if I'm wrong, if Hera has been rated 2k4 before. But yeah, honestly, Arabia Huns is the breeding ground of the top players. It is the bread and butter of AOC, and we're gonna have a look at the players' maps now. And we should probably check their scouts real quick because this could be a big deal later on. Mr. Yo actually getting a few nice shots there onto Hera's scout. He gets another good shot, and it looks like he might win that little fight there. And there's a couple of reasons why this would be bad for Hera. Well, number one is he's not scouted Mr. Yo yet, and the fact that Mr. Yo has gone straight out to Hera here kind of says that, well, maybe he was looking to steal a boar, maybe he was trying to lame. In fact, you know, he may have even stolen some sheep, who knows. But like I say, if Hera loses his scout, that's a really big problem. Such early stages of the game, because he's not found all of his sheep yet. He wouldn't be able to push deer in towards the TC, and as we know, Hera is very fond of doing a scout rush, and in order to do a good scout rush, you need to have good food income. So here, obviously, it could have been in a bit of trouble had he have lost his scout cavalry there with 4 HP remaining. It was a pretty close call. Mr. Yo hanging around with his scout here on this left side. Maybe he's going to try and lame this villager a little bit, but no, he's going to be nice. He's going to be a kind Mr. Yo and let Hera have a fair Dark Age start. But Hera's map, I mean, it doesn't look too bad. Aside from his starting resources, you know, with this boar right back here, which is, you know, a doable a boar lure with loom. It's kind of fortunate that he had to get loom, because you want to delay loom as long as possible. At the moment, Yo is a villager ahead since he does not have loom yet. But yeah, I mean, Hera's map does not look too bad. He's got a back wood here. He's got a safe back gold, a pretty easy wall off at the back if he wants to take that, and this wood line covers the back as well. Back berries, and on the front, you know, not too many hills to his disadvantage either. This left side might be a little awkward, but he's probably going to wall up towards the TC perhaps, and try and build his eco in the back here. But Mr. Yo, as I said earlier, a little bit ahead. He's one villager ahead since he doesn't have loom yet, and it's unlikely that Hera's going to come in with his scout and cause too many problems now either. So he's pretty comfortable here, and he's going to go ahead and do a drush. And we'll have a quick look at Mr. Yo's map now before this drush comes in. So his map is not as good. You can see he's got this forward gold here. It's at the bottom of a hill. He's got this forward stone. It's at the bottom of a hill. His wood's horrible. It's miles from the TC. It's on a hill. It's on the left-hand side, way out. His berries, not too bad, but I've seen better. And, you know, it's really open for Mr. Yo. So this is not a nice map for him, and that's probably one of the reasons why he's choosing to drush this. And obviously Hera going up 21 population, doing the feudal age upgrade now, and he's probably going to go straight into scouts. I mean, we see this kind of build order from him a lot of the time. He is very much a scout rush kind of player. He's not seen the barracks from Yo, but he's about to see the militia now any moment. On this left side, walling in these villages as a precaution, but at the back, the villagers are wide open to attack, and if they flee towards the TC, well, these militia are going to be doing bonus damage, but Hera with the quick walls coming in, and he's going to prevent these militia from doing any damage. And I think this is the biggest thing for Hera right now. If he can prevent Mr. Yo from utilizing this rush and doing any damage, then he's going to get a big advantage. This stable is coming up on the right side, and all he has to do is counterattack. He doesn't really have to worry too much about these militia back here, because they're not going to get through these walls easily. They're going to struggle, and they're going to find it hard to get any villagers, because as soon as they come towards this TC, Hera can garrison, and the militia are dead. So Hera's going to build the stable. He's going to go straight out and counterattack now, and as we said earlier, Mr. Yo's map is absolutely horrible. I mean, look how far these villagers are away from the TC. If Mr. Yo wants to wall this, he's got to do some serious walling. And, you know, this counterattack is coming straight in. I mean, I wouldn't have expected anything less. Hera is an aggressive player, and I think, you know, he's always in his element when he's being as aggressive as possible. As well for Mr. Yo in this situation, he can't rush and then follow it up with a fast castle. He's got to go into archers now. I mean, he could have gone into scouts as well, but that kind of build order just doesn't work out. You invest a lot of food into militia, you know, to then go into scouts. It's going to hurt. It's going to absolutely destroy your economy to do that. So, Mr. Yo going straight into archers, which is obviously the right course of action. But archers at the early feudal age are very weak against scouts. So Hera has got a great advantage right now, because any archers that come out are going to be easy pickings for him. So Mr. Yo, for that reason, has added in a spear, and he might add a couple more as well to defend his economy here. I mean, 2 or 3 spears, not going to be too bad. For him. Oh goodness me, he's actually come into the berries, causing Hera a little bit of idle time. And I mean, it doesn't really matter when the Drush does the damage. They can do the damage at 40 minutes of game time. These militia were like in the back of Hera's base or something. As long as they are causing some villager idle time and harassing Hera back at home, that's good. Hera's now coming back with his scouts, and that's going to buy Mr. Yo a little bit of time. And he's going to have a little bit more breathing room to try and build up a little bit more army back at home and such. Obviously, Mr. Yo is not in a position to fast castle this at all, but we expected that, of course. And to fast castle on a map like this that is so wide open, you've got to make sure that you are you're not fast castling, because it's very difficult to keep yourself safe when you're wide open to attack at any time. Ah, man. So, as I say, back at Hera's base, he's kind of walling up. He's not got a terrible wall, to be honest with you. It's pretty easy for him to pull that one off. Heading out with the scouts now, and Yo is on the way over to Hera's base. But if Hera focuses down the spearmen, which he should, but he didn't do, he didn't seem to even recognize that these units were here. But if he focused down that spearman, he may have been able to kill that army from Yo there. There's no fletching here for Mr. Yo, and Hera could have found the kills and actually destroyed that army before it even reached his base. But you know, Hera right now walling up, focusing on that wall off, and switching into archers pretty quickly. In fact, doing skirmishes instead. But for Hera now, doing these archery ranges, stopping scout production, it really looks like he wants to get to the castle age here. And, you know, I see a lot of games where Hera will go for scouts, and then he'll continue making them. He'll do bloodlines. He'll really focus on the scouts. In fact, earlier today, he was playing against MBL, and he went bloodlines twice on his scouts, and he just absolutely wrecked MBL by doing that. This time, he's playing a little bit more passively. He's walling up, he's letting Yo kind of have a little bit of map control, and as a result, actually losing a villager, which is not so good. But I think his plan here really to just fast castle it up, making a few skirms, which of course makes sense, since he knows Yo is going archers right now, and will likely go for crossbow, if not into cavalry archers straight away, depending on how many archers he has left when he hits the castle age. But yeah, Hera here, Tower Watch, of course, a very, very important upgrade on Arabia, given that extra line of sight, and given it's such an open map, it's really important that you can see what is going on. The more info you have, the better. The longer you have to prepare, and the longer you have to recognize your opponent is coming towards you, the better. So, I'd laugh if Mr. Yoda is going to collect up these sheep. Hera has still not found those sheep. To be fair, I mean, that's a really crappy location. And Mr. Yo, he's like, right, I'm not giving you any advantage, not giving you anything in this game. I would have liked to have seen him send those sheep back, almost to taunt him. Like, just said, oh, here's your sheep, by the way. Good job scouting. You suck. Obviously, Hera doesn't suck, but it would be a nice little taunt from Mr. Yo to do that, but maybe Mr. Yo doesn't want to give him that extra food. Hera then, wheelbarrow coming in. Not too far behind Mr. Yo on that one, and he's going to be clicking castle very soon. Mr. Yo is obviously a little further behind here, still making a bunch of archers, still looking for an angle of attack. He's on both the left and right side of Hera's base, whilst Hera, with his 3 scout cavalry, his trusty scouts, coming at the back of Yo's base here. Gonna look for maybe a couple of villager kills. Gonna actually find one. Of course, if you want to find villager kills, the weak villagers, they're gonna be lurking around the base of the TC, since that's where you put your weak villagers. And a great play by Hera there, just running in, getting a quick pick, and running straight back out again. I think it's unlikely that he'll find another villager kill now. He'll be clicking on all these villagers to see if any of them are low. Mr. Yo, where's that spearman? Mr. Yo! Hello, spearman, you are needed over here. And it looks like maybe I was very wrong, and Mr. Yo will not only lose 1 villager, but actually 2 back here right now. And well, he's going to lose the last of his scouts, but Hera should not have gotten away with that, Mr. Yo. Yeah, a little bit messy with that spearman there. But anyway, like I was saying, Hera obviously for a faster castle age here, and he is now 55% of the way up, while Mr. Yo is still scrambling to get that 800 food. There it is, and he will click up after this villager. There he goes. But there's pretty big time difference in it. Over a minute time difference at this stage. Hera about 1 minute and 40 seconds ahead on the castle age upgrade. And as you can see, 4 archery ranges here, 2 more coming up. With a few archers out already, you probably want to go ahead and do crossbow once he hits the castle age, and then transition into those trusty cavalry archers, which the Huns are so fantastic at utilizing. Yeah, with 4 archery ranges though, it's pretty obvious here he's going to go for some high aggression, and like I said earlier, it doesn't surprise me that Hera is going for a very aggressive build. You can see he's got a lot of gold income at the back, really raking in that gold there, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see a university over a second TC. I mean, I might be wrong. He might decide that, hey, my map's not in a good position here. But, I mean, he's going to feel pretty comfortable back here. He's got everything he needs in the back of his base. Bodkin arrow, crossbow, and no second TC just yet. More likely to see either a forward siege workshop or a university for ballistics, of course. So obviously cavalry archers coming straight out, and Hera's pushing forwards. And this is one of the bigger disadvantages of having such an open map like this. Mr. Yo has very little choice in the matter, but he has to throw up a watchtower on his main gold. You know, he has to throw that up because otherwise his villages are at risk, and if he has no access to gold, he's going to have a very hard time killing off Hera's army. So it's really important for that he had this tower up, but it's also a big disadvantage because now he's down 125 stone. He's not going to be able to do a second or third TC, even if he wanted to. He has no choice in the matter. He has to go aggressive now, and well, that's the right thing for him to do anyway, since Hera is also playing so very aggressively at this moment. 3 archery ranges up on the front for Yo though, and that's 1 shy of what Hera has at the moment. He does not have the wood now to do the 4th range, but Hera might get a little bit boxed in, or so I thought, until I saw these cavalry archers up on the hill here. Hera's at a great advantage right now. A lot of it you could say is down to map, but I think Hera's played a good strategy on this one, sitting back and trying to get the castle age time faster. Bloodline's just coming in on these cavalry archers as well, as Elite Skirmisher comes up for Mr. Yo. That's going to be enough to push Hera back for now, so well played by him. He's going to fight that uphill, and he is going to get the win for now. But this is not the ideal situation for Yo at all. You know, the very fact that Mr. Yo is now sat on one TC, has no choice to go up to the second TC at the moment. He's forced to make skirms. That's obviously going to take its toll on his eco, much more than cavalry archers will. And although they are a counter to cavalry archers, with a siege workshop coming up from Hera on the front, they won't be lasting too long underneath some heavy fire from the mangoes. So Hero right now looking great. He's got a second TC coming up at the back. Honestly, I expected a university. Maybe we'll see that coming up fairly soon as well. But right now, I wouldn't be surprised to see a mangonel. And this is the thing, like, skirmishes are, well, they're great if you are in a defensive position and you've got a lot of archers attacking you. They're fantastic in that situation. The problem comes when you want to counter-attack, when you want to go and hit your opponent. They're so easy to counter. A mangonel, a knight, they're going to be absolutely torn to bits, and they do so little damage to villagers as well that they don't have the punching power. They really are. They serve best just sitting in their eco and defending, but you can't sit back and defend all day because that gets you nowhere. So Mr. Yo at the moment now switching into these cavalry archers, which is of course expected, but Hera has a big advantage in military count, and bear in mind that most of his military now is cavalry archer. Mr. Yo, most of his military is currently elite skirms, and they're probably going to get cleaned up very quickly by these two knights. Bloodlines +1 defense done, and he should be able to clean that up comfortably. I don't know why these villagers are even taking this damage here. This army should be over there already, killing them. Oh, villager, you are so lucky. Chopping wood. Millions of spears falling from the sky, but she survived. What a legend she is. And these skirms, however, well, they will not survive. Look how easy this is going to be for Hera now. That entire army getting cleaned up, and Hera coming into Mr. Yo's economy, which is still wide open, since this wall-off for him is near impossible on this map, or at least not worth the resources that and time it would take to do it. Hera can park himself up on this hill, and Yo would have no choice but to run away in this situation. You're gonna see a lot of dead villagers from Yo, and at the moment Hera's 7 villagers ahead. And wouldn't be surprised if he stays ahead quite comfortably. Mr. Yo trying to maybe get some raiding back as well, but Hera's ready, waiting for him inside of his own economy. Taking the hill advantage here on the right side of, or the south side of Yo's base. Gonna cause some trouble, and Mr. Yo now, the idle time. The idle time, the killer, the slayer of experts is the idle time. 5 villagers sat inside this tower, very little gold income for Yo. And although, yes, you know, cavalry archers are very cheap, gold income so vital. Gotta keep that gold flowing. Gotta keep the trade routes clear, and the gold coming into his coffers at the moment. So Hera now should have great map control from here on out. It's going to be very difficult for Mr. Yo to push this back. I mean, he's got a mangonel. He could get lucky, get a couple of easy shots and do a lot of damage, but it's unlikely that Hera, who is a fantastic micro player, you can micro very effectively, it would be very unlikely that this mangonel will do enough damage to cause Hera a lot of trouble. And Mr. Yo has a lot of lack of map control, a big lack of map control at the moment, allowing Hera to constantly hit and run, raid his eco, and hold this hill out front if he wants to. More villagers gonna go down, and Mr. Yo now is down by 11, 12 villagers, and probably more, as he scrambles to run these villagers away. But where can they go? Mr. Yo so outnumbered in military. He's 12 military versus Hera's 44. There's cavalry archers all over his economy, and Mr. Yo is doing everything he can to keep them away, but so many villages are going down in the process. All of these elite skirmishers here, it's not enough. There's too many cavalry archers. Doesn't matter if you have the counter unit or not. At the end of the day, if you're outnumbered 10 to 1, your counter unit is effectively useless, and Mr. Yo has lost way too many villagers, in my opinion, for him to recover from this. Hera, like I said, fantastic map control. He can now just hit and run, raid his eco whenever he likes. Mangonel coming in on the front to attack this TC, but Yo doesn't want to give it up just yet. Mr. Yo doesn't want to give Hera that 2k4 rating, but it looks like he is on the road to victory at the moment, and he's pushing it in on the left side as well. These villagers have really no escape, do they? I mean, everywhere they turn, there's just men on horses killing everything they hold dear. Their poor, precious lives Getting absolutely slaughtered on this left side. And with this raid, Hera is going to be at almost double the villager count of Mr. Yo. And Mr. Yo, I think it's nearly time to call it, I'm afraid. I don't want to call games too early, but, you know, Hera right now is so far ahead. It would take a miracle for Mr. Yo to pull this back. It's going to be very difficult indeed. So Hera back at home, I mean, he could probably just go up to another archery range if he wants. He could add some knights if he wants. At the moment, he's booming up on 3 TCs. As we know, Mr. Yo is just on the 2, and it's going to be a while before he gets his 3rd because he has zero wood at the moment. There's been too much disruption back here, and he's calling GG. Well played to Hera there. A good game by him. Very much in control, full control from him. Good defense of Mr. Yo's rush, and there you go. 2k4 for Hera, a real milestone, a real landmark achievement for him. Possibly the first time he's reached 2k4, and taking down a player like Mr. Yo as well. Even on a bad day, Mr. Yo is a solid opponent. So well done to Hera there, or well-deserved victory. You know, a bit more analysis of this. Obviously, Mr. Yo's map definitely didn't lend him any favors. Look how forwards that TC had to be built. There was very little that redeemed his map here. I mean, I think the decision to drush was absolutely correct, because Mr. Yo would have really struggled if he'd have gone straight to scouts. I mean, maybe going straight to scouts could have worked out, but, you know, he was risking a lot. And with a map like this, he wants to really lock Hera into his base, gain himself the map control, and play with that, because as soon as he starts getting raided, he's in trouble. And you've got to wonder, if the map had been switched, if Hera had had Mr. Yo's map, would this been a different story altogether? Maybe, I don't know, but hopefully they'll play some more, and we'll be able to find out. So there you go, guys. Well played by Hera there. Hopefully the bets have been closed, right? Wow, actually, wow. Very, very, very close in the betting.